What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be chatting about all of the potential releases that should be coming out before TennoCon 2018. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I tend to keep running tabs of things that DE has shown during dev streams. Maybe it's just me because I like to do videos on those kind of things, but I literally went through and kind of took a look at everything that has been sneak previewed and kind of shown off, and I'm trying to put together a mental list of, okay, this could be released here, this could be released here, and this could be released here, because we only have about 2 months left till TennoCon. So I'm thinking, alright, are we going to run out of content completely, or is DE going to kind of drip feed little bits and pieces here and there to us? As you guys know, we got some TennoGen Round 12 that came out last week, or is it 13? Oh, the number just keeps going up and up and up, and I forget. But we got a little bit of that, and I think that we're going to be seeing even more Fashion Frame before we get to TennoCon. But there is one big question that lingers, but we'll get to that towards the end. So first and foremost, we're taking a look at some releases of Deluxe Skins. They've already talked about the Neja Deluxe, and they have started sculpting it. Who knows, we might actually have a full sculpt of it ready to take a look at during the next dev stream. But that Neja Deluxe skin has definitely been touched, and it's definitely been teased a lot. This is something that I'm very, very excited about, mainly because of the fact that one of my favorite Warframe artists out there is definitely Volkovi, Liger Zanuka, whatever you want to say. He's also done some great work in the TennoGen world as well, so part of me is like, okay, so now he's collaborating with DE, we're gonna get some of his work in Deluxe Skins. Very, very excited because he gets to play with shapes any way that he wants to when he pitches a concept. So I'm really excited for that, and I can't wait because they have started sculpting it. At the very, very least, they showed it off during one of the dev streams, so we're not 100% sure on the progress of it, but it's something that they have shown us, and I know that a lot of people are absolutely gagging to get their hands on it. Moving along, another concept piece that they went ahead and showed when it comes to Deluxe Skins is, of course, the Vauban Deluxe Skin, the one that had all of the cool pistons, and they were saying that it would move as he moved, like kind of like almost like, I don't know if you guys have ever played Final Fantasy, but for those of you guys who did, it reminds me very much of the Alexander summon, which is always like this robotic castle angel thing. I was like, it's super steampunk. And in one of the more recent dev streams, they actually went ahead and showed us the weapon that came along with it. So part of me is like, they've got the concept, they've got the weapon, they've got to be making some moves on it because we never know. However, I do want to kind of drop one more interesting thing. We never got any artwork for the Inaros Deluxe skin. It was never teased out to us, and just one day, it appeared on our door. So you never know, they might pull a fast one on us like that and drop something interesting just out of the blue. But regardless, we have seen the Neja skin, and we have seen the Vauban Deluxe skins, at least in their concept work. So hopefully, we will be getting those sometime soon. Another thing that we have seen a return of, which I'm so excited, is of course the Equinox alternate helmet, and this one is a long time coming. It's like that angelic slash demonic looking helmet that they teased ages ago, and finally we'll be getting our hands on it. I don't know how soon, but on the last dev stream they did show it off to us in its modeled form. So for me, I mean, that's got to be coming up around the corner. So it's definitely something that should be released before TennoCon 2018, and I can't wait because totally goes hand in hand with Onslaught. So many people are playing Equinox now. That is like one of the main characters that we've seen around, and it's gonna push me to play Equinox a little bit more. Usually when it comes to Onslaught, I kind of like to sit back and play one of the more support roles, mainly because of the fact that we see so many like Sarens, we see so many Equinoxes, so many Mesas, and I'm like, alright, listen, I'll just EV Trinity for you. You do what you gotta do. Just make it happen, okay? But hand in hand with Onslaught mode, they did go ahead and tease a peculiar mod for us, which was going to inflate certain parts of the enemy bodies whenever they got struck. Now, the thing that I do kind of want to point out about that, which I hope that they kind of make this work a little bit better. The one thing I loved about Peculiar Bloom is literally you could lay out like a big old squad of enemies, and every single crit that you had on them just leaves them with flowers littered over their dead bodies. And people know, they're like, oh my god, it's the flower mod, like we see it. But the inflation mod, It's a little bit harder to catch mid-combat. We'll see little parts of the body poof up and whatnot. What I'd love to see is if I absolutely massacred an enemy, their body just to look like big old balloon parts just laying there on the ground. They're like, why are these enemies all crazy deformed? That's what I would love, because it would be hilarious and it would be really, really iconic. They'd be like, he's got on the balloon body mod. And I'm down for that. I'm totally down for that. And it will definitely get my butt into Onslaught a little bit more, so I can go ahead and get my hands on that one as well. Now, a lesser thing that they were chatting about was the weapon PBR and ceramic dagger visual upgrade. This is one of those things where, you know, they kind of do passes on some older weapons to make them look shiny and pretty, and that way, you know, you don't feel so bad when you get a ribbon for them. They're like, well, it's got high ribbon disposition, and it just got PBR'd, so it's shiny and pretty. So it's definitely something that, you know, isn't necessarily the worst, but it's nice to kind of give the artist something to do while the programmers are off, you know, trying to take care of bigger projects like Venus or the Sacrifice Quest. So that's something that we'll probably end up seeing. Now, if you guys have been paying attention at all to Prime Time, which I definitely think you should give it a chance every now and then, one of the big things that they have been doing is dojo tours. So part of me is saying, we're going to get our Dojo Lighting soon. Now, this is something that Steve had been teasing a while back on his social media, and we'd seen all these like cool, like foggy, misty lighting sets, or something that really just made the dojo look way more striking, kind of reminiscent of the Arbiters of Hexus Syndicate room up in the relays. So I was like, ooh, it would be really, really cool to be able to go ahead and do that to our dojos. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a very big dojo customization person, but if Mogamu breaks down and lets me customize the dojo, I think I would be willing to take my hand in that, because, you know, it's a little bit bleak at the moment. Regardless, that is something that we should be coming soon. Now, before we get into the bigger stuff, I did want to kind of ask you a question, because a part of me thinks that potentially the new UI that we're going to end up getting our hands on will not be out till TennoCon, but I think that they might be able to make it happen before TennoCon comes. That's one of the other things that I wanted to tie in, but we'll talk about that in a different video. Now, the big thing that I definitely wanted to cover for this is because the timelining of this one is a little bit tense. And a part of me is like, please, DE, just do it before TennoCon. Do it before TennoCon, and at least I will feel good about the content creation that kind of goes along with it. But will we get a Prime release before TennoCon comes? See, the thing about it is it's a very, very tight window that we're working with. See, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because last year, Oberon was released May 30. So May 30 is basically June, right? So we tentatively have a June release window for Warframes. And if you take a look at it this year, we have Zephyr, which was released on March 20th. So March, April, May, June. 3 months later, which is the usual cycle for primes, means that we should have another prime by June 20th-ish. Ish is the word. So the question is, will DE hold that? Because June 20th is basically like the end of June already anyway. So will we get that the week before TennoCon, or will we actually get that pushed all the way back and have them teased on TennoCon? So that's kind of like my current feeling about it, because I'm like, oh, okay, so what's going to end up happening with that? Because I have to take a look at release dates. Now, the two tentative Warframes that will most likely be up for priming are either going to be Limbo and Chroma. And here's the thing that I find so funny is that there is going to be a big part of the community that is like, please don't let it be Limbo. We don't want to have to like deal with everybody leveling up their Limbos and using their Rift magic to like disturb our gameplay. It's going to drive me absolutely nuts. And then there's, of course, that same group that is like, give me my Chroma. Give me my Chroma. They're like voracious over Chroma. Like whatever it is Chroma, they're like, give me my Chroma. And I'm like, oh dear Lord God, this is going to turn into a big old shit show no matter which one gets released. Me personally, I think that Limbo is most likely going to be released first, and then Chroma is going to be held off and, launched in the fall of 2018, because it just kind of makes more sense for like holiday sales and all of that kind of stuff. At least that's the way that I'm personally looking at it. Now, I'm definitely crossing my fingers to see a new Prime before TennoCon 2018 comes up, mainly because of the fact that it's nice to have some content, and you know what, we get to see, because DE's always done this. DE's always done this at every single TennoCon. They've always teased the artwork for the next Prime. So part of me is like, will they hold off and show us Limbo Prime at TennoCon 2018, or are they going to release that first and then show us the the Prime, the potential Chroma Prime that'll be releasing in the fall? Because that would be even cooler, because then we get our Prime shot of Limbo or whatever during the end of June, and then at the very beginning of July they're like, but you know you got your Limbo, but guess what's coming down the line? Oh yes, we're gonna have a Chroma Prime for you as well. And usually, I mean, to be honest, like the fall primes tend to be a little bit better, because I think like last year, what did we got the Necros, we got Necros Prime, right? We had Galatine Prime and Tigris Prime all come out at the same in the same batch. So I'm like, you know what? I mean, if they really want to drop a juicy bundle, you know, that would be Chroma and a couple other really good weapons that come along with it. And maybe that would wash the bad taste of Limbo Prime from some people's mouths. They're like, oh, I can't believe we got to deal with Limbo Prime. Oh wait, it's Tenno Live 2018. There's a Chroma Prime. It's okay. It's okay. We feel better about this. So that is definitely the question that I am asking myself right now. Will it get delayed, or will we end up seeing it before and then seeing a new Prime at TennoCon this year? But that about does it for me for now. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the upcoming releases. There's a lot of Fashion Frame in there, but if you kind of really looked at the things that they've been talking about recently, we maybe had a little bit of a chat about scythes, you know, going into great swords. We've had some conversation about the Darjins being hijackable from their pilots, but nothing really massive content-wise, just on the regular content cycle. Everything else has been tied to Venus or the Sacrifice Quest, which I honestly don't think we're going to see until TennoCon. But we'll go ahead and talk about that in an upcoming video. So this about wraps it up for me for now. Leave all of your feelings down in the comments below. Do you think that DE might have maybe like a weapon? At least a weapon bundle or something that might be dropping too, because DE likes to keep those up their sleeve as well. Sometimes as a partner, they'll drop an email and they'll be like, oh yeah, we got this weapon coming too. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that this was even coming. So hopefully maybe we get one or two of those during the next 2 months, so that we have something to tide us over, at least mechanically to play with. But I guess I'm gonna leave you guys there. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!